Good evening. Welcome to Robert's Reading Room and Reviews. Happy weekend. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm here to do my latest book review. Before I get into that, I just want to say this makes my third book by this author, and this author to me is amazing. I love her work. With no further ado, I am talking about Prince of the Court by author D. Camille. Prince of the Court by D. Camille. This book starts out with Drew, who is a bugaboo. He gets sick at work, so he goes to his boss because it's an NBA game in Detroit, and Detroit is playing. Chicago is the visiting team, which the other character in this book, which is the main character, is Christian Hill. He finally gets an interview with this guy, and unfortunately, he gets sick, so he goes to his boss, better known as Michelle Irving, to go and take his place to do the interview. And at first, she wasn't going to do it because she doesn't know anything about NBA basketball. She's not a fan or anything. And so she wound up taking the interview, and she goes to meet Christian Hill, better known as Chris, they call him for short. And lo and behold, there's chemistry between these two. It's kind of funny because she goes to the room, she knocks first. She have a card key, so she let herself in. And when she goes into the main, because he's like in a suite, I could take I could tell by reading. And she goes to the next door into the suite and she knocks, no answer. So she opened the door and there he is wrapped in a towel. And things could have went left, but they didn't. Um, they spent a lot of time with the interview and talking, and they really had a lot in common. I just want to say D. Camille has a way with words. And if you don't know D. Camille, you need to get to know her. She's, and it's kind of hard to put her in one genre. As I'm reading more of her work, I guess you could say she's romance, historical, women fiction, mystery, thriller, because she gives you all of those in books for days. I just want to say the reason why I didn't like Drew was because of what he was trying to do between Michelle and Christian, and things could have went left. Christian's PR/cousin Tamika, I wasn't feeling her now at all. Um, I know it's okay to be protective of your loved ones, but as I was reading this book, I was like, she a little bit too much protective. I was like looking like, does she want her cousin? Because of the way she was acting and things, especially the part about when her and the mother went over to the house in Detroit. I mean, in Chicago, in Chris' house when Michelle was there and he was on the road doing road games. But I love Michelle. Michelle Irvin is the main character, along with Kristen. I was saying this book, very, very successful. She's a journalist. She owns the company. She owns her own news media outlet, which is Freedom's Journey in Detroit. As I'm reading this book, I'm like, how is this relationship going to work? Michelle has her baby, her company, as I said, Freedom's Journey in Detroit. And Christian is always on the road. And he is in Chicago. Something happens in the middle of this book that I'm like, wow, are they gonna make it as a couple? Not because of his cousin, which she tried a couple times, I'm not gonna lie, but because of something tragic happens in this book in the middle. And I was like, I don't know if they're gonna make it. Another character in the book I love was Michelle's sister, Denise, which they call Nisi. She was a successful lawyer. Um, I would like to know more about her. I really would. I'm just gonna say this book right here, I give 5 stars because I love D. Camille and she always brings it. Please check out if you can. She's not on Facebook anymore. She deleted her page. She has a website, it's www.com Camille. Yeah, www.dcamille.com. I'm sorry. Thank those who support Robert's Reading Room and reviews. Instagram Robert's Reading Room, Facebook Robert's Reading Room and reviews. Um, if you had a chance to read anything about her, please drop your comments and let me know if you read this book or some of her other stuff you recommend that I may have not read. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy readings and have a great weekend.